In this video, we're going to be putting on our dimensions. All right, so it's not going to be a long video because I don't want to just show you every single dimension that you're going to be putting in. So these two were one of the first two that we kind of clicked on, and then it kind of stayed. And then you can also click on click on other dimensions. And if you actually click that, the dimensions will stay. So then all you can do is really just kind of place them where they need to go. So that's one way of doing it. But then you end up sometimes with this long leader line here that's kind of like in the way and kind of crosses over too much. But all right, so we'll do that. I'll give you an example of the interior dimension first. So what you're going to do is just go across and you keep these dimensions on a straight line as much as possible. And you keep a string of dimensions together. So you do as many straight dimensions as you can horizontally and vertically. Sometimes it's kind of impossible to do all of them that way. And then if that's the case, then you'll just simply do something different. All right, so you see how here the words for the room is kind of clustered up with the dimension. That's another issue that you can commonly run into. So you can also flip your words from horizontal to vertical and then move them out of the way. Yeah, they're not cluttered together anymore. So the objective is to really not is to not have it so cluttered up, so to speak, but to provide the necessary dimensions and notations that you need in order for the builder to know what it is that you're trying to convey. So we try to keep these strings of dimensions um, as close to being where they should or where we can put them as possible. Now, some of these are going to be really, really tricky, like this one, for instance, because it has these angled walls. It's going to make it a little hard to just kind of do a dimension for this room. And there's no one particular one that you can really use for that. So sometimes you may have to use if you can use linear, then linear will work. But it acts a little funny sometimes, and so we haven't really been using it in the years that I've been using Revit. Mostly I've always used Align Dimension. So this one is going to be a little bit more challenging to do. And again, we're going to try to align dimensions as much as possible. And if the room tags are in the way, then we'll just move the room tags out of the way. They don't necessarily have to be in the center of the room. All right. So we may have to go with an angular for right here, just to kind of give it something. All right. As I said, I'm not gonna spend the whole entire video showing you how to place dimensions. I'm gonna give you a few examples of the interior and the exterior. If it missed like I just did, always move it over. They'll pop into place. Okay, so that's the interior. That's not all of them, but you're still going to do the ones for your bedrooms, your bathroom, your kitchen, and so forth. So I'm not going to demonstrate every single last one of those just for the sake of time. All right, so now for the exterior, if you remember when we did the garage, we chose a wall width between the components, and there's no difference with this one. Now you may have to move your window tags out of the way, and don't take your dimensions like way out here. It just doesn't make any sense to do that. Your first row of dimensions should be relatively close to the wall, not on top of the wall, but at least a little bit past the tags. So you'll do that all the way around the building. Now, because this building has a few bump outs, you're going to end up having an overall dimension for many of the places on it. So the front is probably going to be the one that you're going to have the most dimensions on. So I'm going to go between these. I'm going to go between there, my wall, my two windows here. And I think that one I missed. I'm going to adjust it to center of the door and then the wall again. I'm going to pull that out. And I'm going to pull it out from the furthest point that's sticking out. And so this one, I can grab the wetness line here. And readjust that dimension. So I don't have to do the string over again. Okay, so now the front just going to happen to have 3 rows of dimensions. So you're going to have another set for all these overall points here. You'll drag that one out, place it, and then you'll have an overall dimension period from one end to the other. And you see how I'm spacing these equally. They're not one this far and then another one with a gap way down here somewhere. So pay attention to the detail on this. All right, so we'll pull that one out. And we'll do overall. Now this dimension on this side may actually do match the one on the opposite side. I don't think that it will. Oh, yeah, it will. Because we're going from one end to the next. So I'm not going to do the overall over here because it'll be the same redundant dimension that we have here. So we don't necessarily need that one. But you do zoom in and just kind of look and make sure everything's look okay. All right, so the one thing I didn't mention in my last video that I did actually finish up my kitchen. So I went ahead and I got all my cabinets and everything in. All right, and did have to put a cabinet filler in. My dishwasher looks like it's sticking out a little bit. So I need to kind of bump that in. Yeah. Not sure which direction it's headed. I'm going to do it from the top. Oh, you know what? This is supposed to stick out. Never mind. me set it just a wee bit so it's not sticking out too far. All right. So yeah, so I have my kitchen done. I'll show it to you. Maybe I have to turn the roof off in the ceiling. You type in VG, uncheck roof, uncheck ceiling, and you hit apply, and then hit OK. Then I can see on the inside. As you see, yeah, my kitchen pretty much complete. Well, not pretty much. I do have the kitchen complete. That looks strange. So that's something think I might need to go back and fix. And it's because I moved this and it kind of warped the holes a little bit. So that's something I would have to go back and fix on. It's going to show up on the floor plan also. It's looking like that. It's a little odd. I think that might fix it. Yeah, so that did fix it. Okay, so I think that I am good for that. The only place I didn't put a ceiling was in the garage, but that's something that's easy to do. All right, so now as for our sheets. All right, so the sheets are Schoology, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we can use the one that we used the last time. See if I still have Schoology up. Yep, I do. All right, let's see where we are. All right, so it may be a miscellaneous. Well, maybe not. There's some everything in miscellaneous. So we do the exterior and we do the rendering, so you'll know where to find the cars and stuff like that. All right, so I'll have to copy it over to one. So I'm just going to demonstrate with the one that's already in the system. All right, so we're going to go to Sheets, right mouse click, New Sheet, Load. And we're going to go to Title Blocks. And I think you know what, on this particular one, I think that we may have to go with a D-size sheet. So we'll use a D size instead. We normally use a C. All right. So we'll edit the family. Edit. And we'll take out a few things we don't need just to make room. We don't need all of this symbol and none of this other extra stuff. We're not doing any revisions. So if you want to be so inclined to do so, you can go ahead and put in Stockbridge High School, intro to draft architectural drawing. Trying to find the center text. All right, so right now the text is huge. So we are going to make this text much smaller than this. I think. I hope. This definitely can make it bold. Now we just need to decrease the size of the text. There we go. Don't know why I wouldn't do it before. All right. Doesn't seem to have a center justification on it. Except for maybe here. All right, allow it. Background, blah, blah, blah. Text height, text size. Text is huge. All right. All right, so I'm going to move on. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Oh, there it is. Center. Okay. Yeah, I found it. All right, so we're going to save this one. In family. And we're going to give it a new name. So we're just going to call it. Is it just behind that? Hit save. Okay, we'll load it into project and close. All right, so you're going to get an error because you was in because I was in a 3D view, but that doesn't really mean anything. All right, so we're going to hit escape. And we'll go ahead and start a new sheet. All right, it's probably gave me page 2, which I figured it would. Because it errored out on the first one. All right, so technically, A101 will be your floor plan, so you're going to drag your floor plan over here. Click. Oh yeah, that was the right decision to use that size sheet. All right, and I'll take the tag at the bottom here and move it to the inside. And we're going to adjust the size of it. All right. And that is not the right title block. Should be that one. Oh, doesn't look so crowded. There we go. All right. Now, the cameras, you can turn them off. The downfall is that when you turn them off here, you have to also turn them back on if you need them on the floor plan, but you may not need them anyway. So You can right mouse click, activate the view, and then highlight them, right mouse click, hide in view, and then you can do category. It'll turn the cameras off. It'll just hide the cameras, and then you can deactivate the view. So in doing so, your field of view is now around the drawing rather than with all those cameras that's on the outside. And so when you get ready to do your title block information, we'll do residential design. All right, so if that doesn't fit for the owner, we don't necessarily need the owner. We can get to it again. We just do the little dashes there in the place of that. Then that's not taking up so much room. All right, floor plan. Project number. The date. Author is you. Be sure to do this information because that is part of the grade and part of the drawing. And checker is me. All right. So that's the entire drawing. All right. So I've never really cared for these lines to be so thin. So I'm going to change the line weight on these. All right, let's see if I can find it. Oh, there it is there. But it didn't do anything. I really want to change these. Oh, there we are. So let's go with Y line. See what that does. Oh, I'll turn that on. That will make a difference. It doesn't like it's doing too much. So let's not spend any time wasting doing that. All right, so we'll just skip doing that. All right, so we'll just go to the printing phase. And this time, we're going to be printing this using same thing we used the last time for the garage. I don't think I have it loaded. That's the problem. And I'm not sure if this Microsoft the PDF is going to give me what I need here. No, it's not. All right, so you're going to be using PDF Creator. Same thing we used before, but this time you're just going to be setting your sheet up to do an Arch D size sheet. I don't have it on this laptop. and that one won't let me do a setup. So I'm going to choose the 1300 so you can see what I'm setting up. It doesn't want me to set that one up either. All right, so my actual paper size is going to be in ArchD. So you're going to be setting yours up in the Microsoft, or I'm saying in the PDF creator. There's a template architectural A, B, C, D. Not the oversized. But you won't have to go through all that. That's just something that I'm doing right now. But you'll be setting yours up to do print to ArchD as a PDF. Then that'll be the file that you turn in. But it's important that once you set that up using setup right here, which mine will pop up. I think it was because I'm not connected to the printer. But you always have to make sure that you preview your file before you print. Otherwise, it kind of might come out kind of crazy looking. All right, so I think that's it. This is something you can call me over to help you with as far as the printing. Then that'll be what you'll turn in a PDF of your floor plan. So this will be due on Friday.